Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom to our guests from the church, and a special, extra special Shabbat shalom to Jeff Schweid here. This week's Parsha is Vayikra. It is the first Parsha of the book of Leviticus, also called Vayikra in Hebrew. Fun fact about this Parsha, Vayikra is the longest Parsha in the Torah in terms of word count. So I'm not surprised that we don't have a bar or bat mitzvah this week. However, we do have a Torah service tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning, so please come. In addition to being long, Vayikra is also somewhat unpleasant and challenging to our modern sensibilities. The main topic of Vayikra is laws related to animal sacrifice. It's been thousands of years since we had a temple in Jerusalem in which to perform sacrifices. Officially, as a people, we mourn the destruction of the temple. We mark its destruction every year on the calendar on Tish B'Av, the saddest day of the year. We fast, we refrain from washing or wearing leather or engaging in marital relations. Unofficially, are we that sad about the loss of a temple? To be perfectly honest, I'm not. There are Jews that want to build the temple, and I oppose that for two reasons. The first reason is that there's currently a Dome of the Rock and an Al-Aqsa Mosque in that location, and I think it's in the best interest of geopolitical stability to keep those beautiful structures right where they are. And the second reason is that I do not want to reboot animal sacrifices as a part of my religion. We are taught that the answers to all questions are contained in the Torah. We believe that the Torah is eternally relevant. What do we as Jews do with a section of the Torah that goes into detail about the practice of sacrificing animals, which is objectively irrelevant since the temple no longer exists? We dig deeper, below the surface, and we reframe the question. Instead of asking what animal sacrifice has to do with me, a modern, enlightened individual, we can ask what the significance of sacrifice is in terms of the relationship between humanity and God. If God is the creator, what benefit is there to God to command that his people sacrifice his own creations to him? Why does God command sacrifices? Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, the first Rebbe of Lubavitch, offers an insight about the nature of humans that I would like to share with you. According to Rabbi Zalman and other mystics, we have two souls contained in each one of us. We have an animal soul and we have a godly soul. We are animals. We have animal needs. We need food, drink, shelter. We are born, we live, we die. Our fate as a person is no different than any cow, dog, or mosquito. This is the domain of the animal soul. We are animals, and yet we are obviously more than animals. We have an inherent thirst for transcendence. We ask, why? We are not governed by biology alone. We are both animal and not animal simultaneously. We have the animal soul and also the transcendent godly soul. When we talk about being made in God's image, I believe we are referring to this godly soul. So getting back to sacrifice. The essence of sacrifice, said Rabbi Shneur Zalman, is that we offer of ourselves. We bring to God our faculties, our energies, our thoughts and emotions. The physical form of sacrifice, an animal offered on the altar, is only an external manifestation of an inner act. The real sacrifice is of you. We give God something of ourselves. Sacrifice is not about what is being lost to the individual, it's about what is being elevated to God. What we sacrifice to God is the animal soul within us. Just as the ash and smoke of the ancient burnt offerings were lifted to the heavens through this holy act of sacrifice, we elevate our own animal soul to be physically and spiritually closer to God, to redirect our soul toward divine purpose and liberate ourselves from the slavery of nature's survival. Without the temple, we cannot sacrifice animals, but we must continue the holy act of sacrifice. We must continue to give of ourselves to people, to institutions and concepts that lead us to the divine and continue the work of creation. We sacrifice of ourselves by consciously overcoming our animal nature. In a way, a sacrifice is transforming something from the physical realm to the holy realm. This Shabbat, I challenge all of us to think about ways that we can sacrifice of our animal nature to further our human nature. Perhaps it's sacrificing some time, elevating a little of your time to call someone who is sick or on the Misha Berach list. Or maybe you know deep down you need to apologize to somebody for something. I urge you to transform your time into transcendence. Take this opportunity to do what is right. And if you have any questions about what is right, I invite you to join us for Torah study tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Which leads me to the reason that we are here, or one of the reasons that we are here. One of our Torah study regulars, our very own Jeff Schweid, has retired from his role at Temple Israel after almost 6 years. So I'd like to call him up, Ta'amod Yitzhak Ben Shlomo. You're looking sharp, Jeff. All right, you come stand right here.
Is this gross?
No, man, it's going to be great. Jeff, I started working here in April of 2020, early pandemic. Temple was closed, services were Zoom only from homes, and it was only Jeff and I coming into the office. He came to collect the mail and do, the bookkeeping stuff. Jeff reminded me a lot of my parents. He listens to NPR. He is a man of culture. He cares about the planet. I can honestly say that I liked him immediately. He told me from the beginning that he didn't really need the work and that if I wanted to find somebody else, he'd be okay with that. Took me 3 years. He was instrumental in helping turn my vision for Temple into a reality. Our first project together was getting Temple onto the Shul Cloud platform, which was an enormous task. It required a lot of tedious work and careful data entry. Jeff was a partner when we parted ways with Kesef, an accounting firm in New Jersey, and returned to taking care of things in-house. Jeff has always been a dedicated member of the team, and he was never shy about lending a hand or an opinion. On behalf of myself, the Temple Israel team, and our community, I want to thank you and present you with a humble token of appreciation. Pause. And I'd like to share a few words from a couple of your former colleagues. From Michelle, who ended up taking Jeff's office. I will miss talking books, recycling, and cars, and anything else we used to chat about. Your kind and calm presence is missed around the office. You're always helping others with issues, giving great advice on how to make our jobs easier. You did your best to keep things green at Temple, even as far as going through the trash, looking for cans and other recyclables. I appreciated that about you. You're always willing to give car advice. You changed out my blinker bulb, and I should have taken notes since I'll be doing it solo next time. Thank you for your patience in teaching me the accounting ropes. You were a great mentor and colleague, and I wish you all the best on your retirement. And a little blast from the past here from Ben Cohen. I am thankful that I got to work with Jeff Schweid and can call him my friend. Jeff, you've given so much to Temple Israel community, and you were so kind and helpful to me as a young professional who was new to Omaha. Thanks for teaching me how to change my own oil, how to get better in Excel, and tips for eating and staying healthy. I appreciated how much you cared for the environment and miss scrounging through the Temple Israel fridge with you at lunch. Mazel tov on retirement, and we all know you of all people will live till you're 120. And bring it in, let's hug it out. Jeff, I miss having you around the office. But with that, I will return to my humble AV room and ask the clergy to please commence with the blessing.
So, Jeff, I have a few words as well. So, you have been part of Temple in so many ways since I arrived here. First, knowing you, through Torah study and choir, and then having you join the team, and you seamlessly just stepped into the role that needed to be filled at the time we needed it to be filled. And so, in many ways, I think that while the highest word count in the Torah, yes, Nate is right. Vayikra starts with, it means God called. And we always teach that when God or someone calls to us, oftentimes, we have to figure out the best way to answer. And in many ways, I think that when we, and or more accurately, Dennis, called you and said, we need somebody in this role, you responded in a holy way to serve our community in the ways that we needed it. We're tremendously grateful. I miss just getting to pop by your office already and wave hello or stop for a short chat, but I am really grateful that while you won't be in the office with us, you will be continuing as part of our community in our choir, in tourist study, and all of the ways that bring you joy about continuing to be a Temple member. So I'd like to offer you a blessing this evening as we celebrate your retirement and in this next step of your journey. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu. May the one who blessed our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you as you enter into this new chapter of your life. Each and every day, God renews the work of creation. May God grant you the strength to constantly renew your own creation as you go forward on this new path. May you open your heart and your mind to continuous growth, unexpected change, and the new blessings that come into our lives in ways both great and small. May you have the courage to name and sanctify this moment of change that is upon us as you step out of serving Temple Israel professionally, yet remain an important part of our congregational family. And now I invite everyone to please rise as we bless Jeff with the Shehechianu so that we can thank God for sustaining us and allowing us to reach this moment together as a community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Mazel tov.
Mazal tov.